Hi everybody, thanks for checking in with GeerCrest today. So today I want to talk about something that I am hugely passionate about, and that's heritage breeds, and us starting a heritage breed program here at GeerCrest Farm. Our intention is to eventually create all of our animal systems into a heritage breed program, meaning that all the animals here on the land would be heritage breeds. So this year, our focus is introducing 3 new animal systems. So we're going to bring White Holland turkeys, Aylesbury ducks, and Dorking chickens. So some are already on the land, and certainly if you check back in, I'll be talking about all of them, just because they're amazing breeds and they're just absolutely amazing animals. First I want to shout out to the Livestock Conservancy. Back when I worked at Colonial Williamsburg, I worked closely with Elaine Shirley, who is just an absolute mentor when it comes to stewarding and protecting heritage breeds. But the work that the Livestock Conservancy is doing to protect these really critically important heritage animals is really quite inspiring. So if you get the chance, go onto their website. They're an amazing organization, and we are a member of the Livestock Conservancy. So first of all, to describe or to define what heritage is, what heritage means. So when we talk about heritage breeds, heritage animals, really what we're talking about are the animals that would have been grown here at GeerCrest 100, 150 years ago. So think about the animals that would have been on your great-great-grandparents' farm 100, 200, 300 years ago. So think about too, on those small family farms, the characteristics. Hello. Sorry, we get a little. Say hello, Zipper, or Button. Yes, good to see you too. Think about the characteristics that would be needed for animals on those small family farms. Again, they're not huge industrial farms. Really what you're looking for are healthy animals that are well-rounded, self-sufficient, don't require a ton of attention or care, and they're multi-purpose, so they serve multiple functions on the farm. Today it's a little bit different. Today animals are grown for very specific and narrow traits. So they're really adapted to those really intensive agricultural industrial settings. So when we talk about they're grown for specific traits, these animals are grown only for meat, right? To grow as much meat as fast as possible. They're grown to produce as much as milk, or as much milk as is possible. So they're only focused on one specific trait. Again, not something that's suited to a more family farm where you want a more well-rounded, healthy animal. So when we talk about heritage breeds, there's 6 key factors that we want to keep in the forefront of our mind and really help to differentiate modern agricultural animal breeds versus historic and heritage breeds. One is fertility. You need to make sure that the animal is actually able to reproduce, right? That males and females can actually have offspring. That seems kind of mundane and silly, but a lot of animals today are not actually fertile. They're created in a test tube. 2 is foraging ability. So again, you want animals that are going to be as self-sufficient as possible. You don't want to have to go out and buy all of their food. If you can let them go on pasture and they can eat pasture grasses and still produce you enough milk to remain happy and healthy, that's really something you want. So foraging ability is really key. Longevity. You want the animal to be able to live a long and healthy life. Today, animals, especially meat-producing animals, are grown to produce meat as fast as possible. So once they reach that point to which they're at their market weight, they're meant to be slaughtered, butchered, and processed. But that's not necessarily something that we want here on a farm. We're seeing, for instance, you're seeing it with pigs right now. Pigs are at market weight, and then there's no meat packing companies to actually process the pigs. So that's actually not healthy. Those pigs are not meant to live past that processing date. You see the same thing with poultry. They're meant to be processed on a specific date. If they live past that, their bodies didn't form healthy and naturally, so they're actually quite often not actually going to survive. So longevity, you want an animal that's going to actually live a happy and healthy life. 4, maternal instincts. So again, farmers do not want to be raising baby animals. Ideally, you want the mother to raise these baby animals. So again, you want self-sufficient animals. The farmer does not want to be bottle feeding a calf or whatnot. He really wants to ensure that the mother is going to be able to take care and raise those animals itself. Number 5, reproduce naturally. Now that's different from fertility. Being able to reproduce naturally really means that the animals are physically able to have sex. Quite often you see with poultry is a great example. Turkeys grow these huge meat-heavy breasts. Well, those huge meat-heavy breasts actually make them physically incapable of being able to reproduce. Their legs are fat or stumpy and they can't actually physically have sex. So that's number 5. Number 6 is disease and parasite resistance. Again, you want healthy animals that are not going to need constant medications or constant health checkups. And that's really where the sort of genetic diversity of these heritage breeds are really critical. These are grown to be healthy animals. Again, different from today where they're grown for one purpose. They're grown only for meat, only for milk. These more well-rounded genetics are going to be more disease and parasite resistant, which is, again, something that you really want on a small family farm like GeerCrest. So in terms of what we're doing here, we have 3 main goals in developing our heritage breed program here on the farm. One, sorry, the wind is blowing, my cue card is all messed up. One is honest representation. We want to be able to honestly represent the animals that were grown here on the farm over 150 years ago. See, the wind. Anyway, I have a cheat sheet. 2, so 1, honest representation. We want to be growing and producing the animals that the Geer family would have 150 years ago. 2 is we want to create a sense of ownership from the guests that we host here at the farm. So by sharing the importance of heritage breeds, what are heritage breeds, why their genetics are really critically important to sustaining agriculture, so that when people leave the farm, when they go into a grocery store, it may not necessarily change the decisions that they're making, but at least you're able to make a well-informed, a well-educated choice the next time you go to the grocery store. 3rd and finally, we really want to create a robust breeding program that stewards and protects these historic breeds. Many of these heritage and historic breeds, which were common throughout this country 100 years ago, are nearly extinct. We're certainly seeing that with the Aylesbury ducks that we're bringing here on the farm, the White Holland turkeys. Both of them are critical and are in real danger of becoming extinct. So that 3rd and final goal is really to preserve and protect these animals so that we can continue to steward and have these heritage breeds for the next 150 years. Okay, well, between the wind and someone stealing all of the attention, I think that'll be it for now. Thanks for checking in with GeerCrest, and we'll be back soon. You want to say goodbye button? Just want to claw my leg. Okay, have a good one.